When you win a gold medal, you're set for life. And even when your Olympic career is over, you can still make a fortune doing appearances and signing stuff. Well, not sign body parts. No selfies, please. But the real money is in advertising products on TV, and I'd say yes to everything as long as the money was good. No chalky residue. The best thing about being an athlete is that you can retire young, and that would be great for a person like me because there are a lot of places I'd like to visit and things I'd like to see. So I'm not going to give up on sports just yet, because who knows, maybe I could be a person everyone looks up to. It turns out I'm going to have a chance to prove myself sooner than I thought. When we got back to school after summer vacation, there were posters in the hallways announcing field day, calling on athletes. Field day is almost here, next Wednesday at 1:30 p.m. They have field day at my school every 4 years, and the last time they held it was when my brother, Roderick, was my age. I remember him getting excited about the competition because the winning homeroom got free ice cream. Well, this year they've raised the stakes. If your homeroom wins the competition, your class gets a day off from school. So that has everyone motivated to win. But the person who wants the day off the most is Mrs. Bosch, my homeroom teacher. She's pregnant and is always telling us how hard it is to be on our feet every day. Well, I could use a day off from school too. I don't want to let Mrs. Bosch or the rest of my team down, so I'm actually taking this competition pretty serious. The thing is, I'm not in the best shape right now, so unless I do something about it, I won't be able to help us on the big day. I told Dad I wanted to get in shape, and he said I could start going to the gym with him. I'm not trying to be rude or anything, but Dad's been going to the same gym for years, and whatever he's doing there doesn't really look like it's working. But I figured anything would be better than what I've been doing for exercise, which is nothing. So after dinner, I threw on some workout clothes and tagged along with Dad. The gym was packed, but I noticed there weren't any people my age there. Dad told me that technically kids aren't allowed at the gym, but if I didn't call attention to myself, I should be okay. There were all sorts of fancy equipment that I couldn't wait to try out, but Dad said it was best to start off slow, and he took me to the area of the gym where he likes to work out. When Dad showed me his exercise routine, I could understand why he hasn't been getting any results. Huff, puff. After Dad did a few sit-ups and jumping jacks, he said he was going to relax in the sauna for a while, and that meant I was free to exercise on my own. But the thing is, I didn't really know how to use any of the machines because they were all too complicated. So I had to try and figure out things for myself, and I'm still not 100% sure I was using the equipment the right way. Grunt. What I really wanted to do was try out some of the things that with screens on them, like the treadmills and the elliptical machines, but people were hogging the equipment and staying longer than they were supposed to. And even when I gave them a gentle reminder that it was time to let someone else have a turn, nobody seemed to take the hint. Pant, wheeze, you're 20 seconds over the time limit. While I waited for one of the machines to open up, I passed time by watching television, but the TVs were all turned to some boring business show. So I found the remote and changed the channel to something a little more interesting. Vroom, vroom. I guess everyone doesn't have the same taste in entertainment as me because some lady got off the treadmill to change the channel, but as soon as she stepped off the machine, I jumped at my chance. There was a big screen on the front of the treadmill, and you could choose between all these famous places to take your walk. Pick a route. So I spent a few minutes trying to decide where I wanted to go. After I made my choice, the treadmill started moving, and I felt like I was actually walking along the Great Wall of China. But I guess the Great Wall is steep, and I was having trouble keeping up. So after a while, I put my feet on either side of the conveyor belt. So after a while, I put my feet on either side of the conveyor belt and took in the sights the easy way. I realized I wasn't making the most of my time at the gym, and I started feeling a little guilty about it, but I didn't know what I should do next because I was running out of options. That's when I heard some weird noises coming from the other room, and I went to investigate. Grunt, groan, It turns out there was a whole different area of the gym, and it looked like this was where all the serious people hung out. Woomph. I wanted to look like these guys, but I didn't know how to get started, and when I went around asking for advice, I found that nobody was in the mood for a chit-chat. So, how much weight is actually on this thing? Groan. After a while, I realized that the people in there weren't interested in helping a beginner like me. So I was on my own, and the first thing I had to decide was which muscles to start working on. I figured I should probably focus on my arms and chest because those are the muscles that make you look like you're in shape. So I decided I'll start with a few bicep curls and go from there, but I didn't want to overdo it because at lunch yesterday, Albert told me about this bodybuilder who blew out a bicep, and I'm sure that I didn't want that to happen to me. It turns out I didn't need to stress about it because I couldn't even get any of the dumbbells off the rack. Grr. I thought I might have better luck with the bench press, but I couldn't even budge the barbell either, and I have to admit, I was getting a little frustrated. But now people were staring at me, and I didn't want to look like I didn't know what I was doing, so I started taking the weights off the barbell to make it lighter. But it turns out you're not supposed to take all the weights off one side at once. But it turns out you're not supposed to take the weights off of one side of one side of the barbell at once, because when you do, everything slides off the other side, and apparently people in the weight room don't like loud crashes. So I guess that's the reason why they don't like kids in the gym. But it doesn't seem right that they kicked Dad out too, because he's really been a loyal member. Thursday, Mom said that when it comes to getting in shape, exercise is only half the picture. She said nutrition is just as important, and she'd be happy to teach me a few things about eating right if I really wanted to learn. I didn't feel like getting a lecture about food, but I jumped at the chance to go to her with the grocery store, and that's because I wanted to help her pick out what food we'd have in the pantry. Whenever Manny goes to the store with Mom, he picks the things he wants, and that's why we have all these random stuff in our cabinets. No offense to Mom or anything, but she's terrible at picking our snacks. She always buys healthy stuff that tastes awful, and she won't buy any new snacks until we've eaten all the old ones. So lately, I've been having my best friend, Rowley, over for tasting parties to help me clear space in the cabinets. When we got to the grocery store today, I split off with Mom and loaded the cart with my favorites. I then grabbed a few healthy items just to make Mom happy. But then it turns out my idea of healthy food isn't the same as Mom's. When we met back up, she went over each item I picked out and explained why it wasn't good for me. She held up a bottle of fruit juice, which I thought was a pretty solid choice on my part, but Mom said it was full of sugar and there wasn't any nutritional value to it. I told Mom she was wrong because there's a picture of tons of different fruits right there on the bottle. Then Mom showed me the label, and I couldn't believe they could even get away with that. Contains no actual fruit juice. Mom said that if you really want to know what's in the food you buy, you have to read the list of ingredients. She told me the cans of Chef Marinara paste I had in the cart were full of sorts of chemicals, but I knew Mom was wrong with that one, because I've seen the Chef Marinara ads on television that show him making his pasta by hand in old Italy. Mom showed me the small print on the back of the can, which says the food was made in a factory in Detroit. She said that Chef Marinara wasn't even a real person, and they just hired an actor for those TV ads. Well, that made me pretty stupid for dressing up as Chef Marinara in our wax figure exhibit at school. I then started to wonder if Rod and Rudy was a real person, because those Rod and Rudy TV ads scared me into drinking a gallon of milk every day. Don't be like Rod and Rudy. Drink milk. Should have drank milk. Mom said that food companies are really clever about slipping their advertising into places you wouldn't expect, which made me think about the posters that are up in our hallways at schools. Read and refresh. Books plus Barry Bonzano. Food Pyramid. Sponsored by Barry Bonzano. And that's it.